Welcome back to DAP Build. Today we are continuing our progress obviously on the 1989 Porsche Turbo Replica. We actually do have a bit of a situation going on at the moment. As you can see, we have some lovely coloured purple straps situated all over the top of the space frame. What I am going to do today is remove the space frame from the Beetle chassis, and then of course we can put that aside and then we can start working on the base pan. With that being said, we are luckily enough having a forklift in play. Obviously this would be easy enough with two people. It's really not that heavy. Yeah, I can lift it right off, but the trouble is though, I can lift it off, but then I can't move the Beetle pan, I can't get to the front of the thing, so a forklift in this situation for me is the easiest way. I do luckily have access to it. Otherwise, two people, this would lift right off. This is a really simple process. Remove it, shove it over there and try and get it out of the way. I probably should have cleaned that area up first, but anyway. So yeah, let's get the forklift, let's do some precarious movements and then go from there. Another day for great noises in the background. Just, I don't know what's going on lately, there's just so much movement. Anyway, I have already pre-tested this, obviously, otherwise the straps wouldn't be set up the way they are. It's a little shallow in the front end here to completely reach the other side, so I'm going to bodgy something up for the opposing strap. Shouldn't be too bad though. The biggest thing is it's not going to come up exactly straight, which isn't greatly a problem. It's just the fact I need to be wary because I've obviously got to move the Beetle pan out of the way and I don't think I can actually clear the entire thing, so I'll have to move everything around to get this sorted. But anyway, sort that as we go. That's as far as we can go. All right, so shut that off for a second. Get that there. Get that there, make sure nothing fouls. Park brake. When I did try to do this beforehand, the car started rolling because the frame was lifting and pushing against everything, so we'll pull that. This strap here, now the trouble is that realistically it would fall in line just past, so I'm just going to rest it on the end. I've got another strap, a short strap, which I'll kind of bodgy up to go onto the arm. So hopefully this works. I can't see why it shouldn't. Well, I can now see why it shouldn't because I've got nowhere to put it. That reaches. Okay, so right, and that's a terrible knot. That should do it. I can't, it shouldn't be an issue. I've already kind of tried this, it worked, so let's roll with it. And fingers crossed. Else we'll turn it on. Ready? Whoa! There were 4 small bolts holding this thing in place, which I took them out. There we go. Right. Okay, we're good. We're kind of rubbing, but. Ooh. Okay, let's do that. This forward strap's okay actually, worked pretty well. And there we go. Right. I don't think I've got enough room. Park brake. Okay. And It clears! Haha! Oh man. Okay, so I'll move the camera and show you what the new issue is. So we now have the space frame off the chassis itself. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a problem. Because this is an electric forklift, it has these lovely feet at the front. So when I drop it down, these are going to land on this. I can't simply move it out of the way. Shouldn't be that big of a problem, but it's just slightly annoying and does mean I've got to be a little bit careful when I handle this because I just don't want it flopping over itself. Whoop. Okay. That actually worked out better than I expected. So that's comes off. This comes off. I'll slide that out first. Oh, I'll have to slide that out first. Okay. Let's see. Oh! Okay, I lied before, this is actually quite heavy. I'm still not clear. Hopefully it doesn't scratch the floor too much. Oy. That's better. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Yeah. Right. Okay, let's move this back. Space frame now off the chassis, on the floor. Front beam I have removed, had to do so in order to get the strap off, but it's a bit of a mess, as we expect. The drill holes along here, all over the shop. The metal's even wonky, if you can even believe that. I thought they would have at least had that straight, but anyway. I'm simply going to store it for now. I'm going to rest it against the wall, kind of tuck it in behind the tub, and the Beetle chassis will just rest behind it. So I'll lift this up, move it around, get it into place, and then we're going to tackle something else on the front of the chassis. So let's do that. Frame is now safely out of the way. A few minor scratches, oh boy, on the floor. Never mind, I'll somehow fix that, maybe. Anyway, so as you can see, it's really odd. You don't notice it so much on the car. You kind of do because the way the floor pan goes, but the fact that it arches so far down, it's wide hips, narrow top, but the actual unit itself, as you can see, quite sturdy, quite bulky, really, when you're looking at top side down. So that's sorted for now. One thing I will be doing in the future is removing these. And I know I've already gone through the debacle of cutting away the tub and then of course wishing I hadn't. In this situation though, and it's kind of the same thing anyway, I remove those, I can always put them back later. At the end of the day, these actually did make the tub sit a little high on the back of the chassis. The gap that was kind of in between the bottom and then the, well actually the bottom of the tub and the bottom of the Beetle chassis, that gap I think was partly caused by those. So when I actually do put it back on, I'll let the chassis sit with the tub flush and then measure the difference and whether or not they actually are the right height or not. I don't think they are. So we'll chop them off later. For now, I'm going to roll back the chassis, do a bit of modification to that. I'm first going to work on that beam, which means removing the stupid addition they did to hold the front tub on, angle grind that off, and then go from there. So with the chassis back here now, we're going to start on the next venture, which of course is removing this front beam. The first thing I'm going to do, however, is remove this. It is useless, it is in the way, and of course, I'm not going to be using it at all when I put the tub back on. We're basically going to angle grind it off, just get rid of it, and of course then go about jacking it up, removing the front beam. There are a few ancillaries I need to tackle first, or maybe not. I thought I'd actually had some connected stuff. Nope, I think it'll just slide right off. Anyway, moving on. A certain song springs to mind right now. Oops. I did it again. Just do the swirly editing effect. What do you mean we don't have it? How can we not have a swirly editing? Whatever. So, some time has passed and I have now got the stupid front piece out of the way. What I'm going to do now is jack the car up and then remove this front beam out of the equation. It doesn't seem to be attached in any other way, so 4 bolts is literally all that holds this entire front section here to the rest of the chassis. So we'll jack it up, support it, remove it, and see what lies beneath that. We've got it off the vehicle now. We've got the base plate exposed. Interestingly enough, we can see right down the guts all the way to the back of the chassis. I can see a bit of corrosion inside there, which I don't really know how I'm going to tackle that one. Talk to some VW people, see what the go is there. But at least now we've got this off the car, we can service this separately. We can now look at stripping the rest of the parts off the front end. At the end of the day, I'm going to dismantle all of this regardless, replace all the bushings, linkages, all that sort of stuff, make it really nice and tight. It's movable at the moment, I can get it out of the way, and for the most part, there's nothing else really at this front end now I need to do so much. With that being the case, I'll start removing all these ancillaries, and then of course, that'll pretty much do it for today. Well, that's going to do it again today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, like, subscribe, comment below, etc. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbour that Snuffleupagus from Sesame Street was actually Big Bird's imaginary friend when he was first introduced. No, seriously. Really, he was. Whatever. Anyway, guys, until next time, cheers.